Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. Spence Jr. versus Garcia is going to take place on March the 16th. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a historic event for multiple reasons. It's a pay-per-view event, first of all, and you can order it. I suggest you guys order it. But the first thing I want to note about this pay-per-view event is it's the first time that network television, normal network TV, is actually hosting, in conjunction with PBC, a pay-per-view event. That's the first thing. That makes history in and of itself. But then the second thing about it is this pay-per-view event means that either participant of this event is now going to have participated in a pay-per-view. And what's crazy about that is that either participant that wins this event will actually have a chance to face Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Because guess what? Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao is a pay-per-view star. And his most recent pay-per-view event, which happened at that time here against Broner, actually had a return of 400,000 pay-per-view buys. And it was done on Showtime, right? Raked in $30 million. Fantastic stuff. And what's crazy about that is the fact that, yes, it was in Las Vegas, but it was crazy about that is Broner had not participated in any pay-per-view events ever. So what makes this so significant, if you want me to talk about it, is that this event being a pay-per-view event, depending on how this pay-per-view event turns out, the results of it, in terms of pay-per-view buys, will determine what happens with Manny Pacquiao. But definitely, I can understand why Manny Pacquiao will take precedence and why he's even going down to see Spence versus Garcia. His eyes should be on this, because when you talk about risk versus reward, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, Pac-Man, he wouldn't want to face Errol Spence if Errol Spence wins this event. Yes, he would, because the reward is worth the risk, okay? No other welterweight champion out there, whether it's Terrence Crawford, whether it's Keith Thurman, or whether it's Sean Porter, no other welterweight champion out there is doing any pay-per-view event. Well, Errol Spence Jr. may be involved. Crawford may be involved in a pay-per-view event with Amir Khan. But then again, that fight may be harder to make than, say, a fight with Spence and Garcia, either one who wins. So at the end of the day, it's a no-brainer. Manny Pacquiao will be facing the winner of Spence Jr. versus Garcia. So that's the stakes there. And then there's one more very epic thing about this event that's historic. It's on the verge of history. If Mikey Garcia somehow, some way, wins the World Welterweight IBF Championship from Errol Spence Jr., Mikey Garcia would have actually made history in doing so. I'll give you an example of what I mean. So Henry Armstrong, great boxer, right? Great boxer. He's known for holding the most welterweight championships. But something else that people should know is that Henry Armstrong won titles not just in the welterweight division, but he also won titles at the lightweight division, and he also won titles at the featherweight division. So he's had titles at both featherweight. Here he is with the world featherweight title right here. He won the world featherweight title right here. I think he won the lightweight title before the featherweight. I can't remember. He did it in an unusual order. Okay, so he won the world featherweight title here. Okay. And then he went on to win the lightweight title somewhere around here. He won the welterweight title first, and then he won the lightweight title after. So he won the welterweight title against Barney Russ, and then he went on to win the lightweight title against Lou Ambers. Now, to be fair, Barney Russ was only 142 pounds. So they were small welterweights, okay? He was only 133, though. It's just crazy what he did. And then he went down to lightweight, and he won the lightweight title. And he had all three titles simultaneously, but what's important is he won lightweight, featherweight, and welterweight titles. And Mikey Garcia is about to make history in that he's about to do the same thing, which is crazy, okay? Mikey Garcia came up from being a featherweight, as you can clearly see right here. All right, he was a featherweight, and he won the featherweight title against Orlando Solido. He won the WBO World Featherweight title. All right, against a legitimate champion in Orlando Solido. All right, he beat him. Then he went up to super featherweight for Roman Martinez, and then very recently, after he came back into boxing, he beat he beat Dejan Zlatikanen to win the lightweight title. He didn't campaign at lightweight. He didn't defend his lightweight title so far, but he beat Dejan Zlatikanen to win the lightweight title. All right, the WBC lightweight title. From there, he went straight up to super lightweight, which shows that he's a big dude. And he beat Adrian Broner, and then he beat Sergey Lipinets to basically win those titles. And then now he's looking at, and he went back down and faced Robert Easter at lightweight. This is crazy. And he beat him. And then now he's gone up to welterweight to face Errol Spence Jr. for the IBF World Welterweight title. If he wins that, he would have done what Henry Armstrong did. And I don't think there's any other boxer in history, you guys can check it out for me, who has done that. Okay? He's the only guy to do this now. He's won the featherweight title, he's won the lightweight title, and he's looking to win the welterweight title. Not even Manny Pacquiao has done that. I think Manny Pacquiao never won a featherweight title. Never. He fought Marco Antonio Barrera, who was the featherweight lineal champion, but Marco Antonio Barrera threw away the WBC title, so he never got to win the featherweight title. All right, he was a flyweight champion, Pacquiao. He was flyweight. He was welterweight. He was lightweight champion. That's it. So when you talk about the respective divisions, not the subdivisions, but the actual divisions, welterweight, lightweight, and featherweight, Mikey Garcia is on a historic run to do that. So that's incredible in and of itself. And I think he's going to do it in a much more impressive fashion because Errol Spence Jr. is going to be a lot bigger than he is. All right, maybe 165 pounds coming in on fight night, and Mikey Garcia maybe 152. So Errol Spence is going to outweigh him by a significant amount. And so this is going to be a crazy fight because of that. The stakes on this fight. Let me tell you why that's important. Because supposing Mikey Garcia wins, Mikey Garcia will not only be pound for pound number one in the world, but he will his legacy will just transform. Okay? It will be a crazy legacy because he would have done something that already puts him in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Just off of that alone. Okay? He would have faced Orlando Solido, who's a great champion, and I think he's still a champion of featherweight. And he would have faced Errol Spence Jr., who's a great champion, and was considered the best welterweight out there. So Mikey Garcia, on top of that, that would be a pay-per-view event. And then on top of that, it would be mad for Manny Pacquiao not to face Mikey Garcia after that, because the reputation that Mikey Garcia will have, and the history that he would have done, and the fact that he's a Mexican fighter on top of that, would just completely obliterate anything in the boxing world. He'll go to the number one spot ahead of Canelo. He'll go to the number one spot ahead of Lomachenko and everybody else. Because this guy been moving through divisions and nobody been paying attention that he's moving through divisions. You're talking about a featherweight moving all the way up to welterweight, which will be 5 weight classes. All the way up to a welterweight, facing the best welterweight in the world and beating him. That would be crazy if that was to happen. So, the only guy to have done that, as far as I do know in history, is Henry Armstrong. Not even Manny Pacquiao has done that. And Manny Pacquiao has come from way lower weight class and went all the way up to super welterweight. But when you look at actual weight classes, I think Manny Pacquiao only has 3 weight classes, really full weight classes. That would be flyweight. He has titles in flyweight. He has titles in lightweight. And he has titles in welterweight. He has 3 weight classes. It's kind of crazy because Manny Pacquiao got a twist to it. He's like flyweight. He's like, whoa, that's really small. But in terms of what Mikey Garcia is going to do, it's going to be crazy. To repeat history, nobody's done that since, I do believe, Mikey Garcia has done it. All right? Roberto Duran, he did he won titles at lightweight, welterweight, and middleweight. Okay, he won titles in those 3 divisions, but nobody's duplicated what Henry Armstrong has done. I don't think so, at least. So that's huge, and definitely will draw a Manny Pacquiao fight. That would be a huge pay-per-view event, huge, because of what Mikey Garcia would have accomplished. And on top of that, just the fact that Manny Pacquiao is already a pay-per-view star, and the fact that Mikey Garcia is now going to be, he basically etched things in history. Because it's one thing to move from lightweight to welterweight and beat a welterweight champion, right? Lots of people have done that. It's a different thing when you're coming from featherweight up to lightweight and then up to welterweight and beating a champion. That means you've been through 3 proper divisions. That's crazy, okay? And only guy I think I know that did that was Henry Armstrong. So I just want to say that to just show you how momentous this occasion is going to be. There's a first in terms of a network television channel hosting a pay-per-view. It's a first in terms of a guy coming in and possibly, if he wins, completing what Henry Armstrong did so many years back that nobody else has been doing. And then 3, it's going to be a monumental pay-per-view for the winner versus Pacquiao. And I think Pacquiao should pursue this. I don't think he's going to get... Maybe he'll get a fight with Floyd Mayweather, but it seems so kind of distant. But this definitely looks like the next option. Now, let's flip the table and just talk about Errol Spence Jr. for a minute. If he wins this fight, it's going to put him in a position that now he has done a pay-per-view, and depending on the amount of pay-per-view buys this fight does, he could instantaneously become a pay-per-view star. And again, Manny Pacquiao will definitely be coming to him to make a fight. So either way, this is the best choice, no matter who wins, or even if they draw. It's a possible scenario. It could be that they draw. Even if they draw with this event, it would have been a pay-per-view event, and therefore, as a result of that, both guys will benefit from it. So whatever happens, and even if Mikey Garcia draws with Errol Spence Jr., it's still going to be historic because it means he moved through 3 weight classes. So whether he draws, whether he loses, whether he wins, it doesn't matter. The important thing is, this is right now an epic, there's a lot at stake here. A lot at stake, even more than Canelo versus Jacobs. There's a lot more at stake here because it's history in the making in this fight. So, guys, man, it's gonna be something. This is the fight of the year. This is the fight we need to see. Okay, forget Canelo versus Jacobs. That's good too, but this is the fight we need to see. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good one.